Hi friends, my name is Nandita. I am from Andhra Pradesh.
Good morning dear students. Today we are going to discuss about reproduction in organisms from chapter 7 CBSE syllabus class 10. Children, now let us discuss about sexual reproduction in flowers. In angiosperms, the reproductive part is located in the flower. The different part of a flower are sepals, petals, stamens and carpels. Stamen and carpels form the reproductive part of the flower that contains the germ cells. The petals of a flower attract pollinators such as insects or birds with their colorful appearance and fragrance. Sepals protect the development of flower bud and support the petals. Flowers may be unisexual like papaya and watermelon, containing either stamens or carpels, or flowers may be bisexual such as hibiscus and mustard, having both stamens and carpels. Fusion of the gametes is termed as fertilization. Only one sperm cell fuses with the egg cell, forming a zygote. This step is known as fertilization. Another sperm cells combines with two other cells, forming endosperm, a nutritive tissue. This process is known as double fertilization. The zygote develops into an embryo within the ovule. The fertilized ovules mature into seed containing an embryo, endosperm and protective seed coat. The ovary develops into fruit that protects the seeds and aids in dispersal. Seeds are spread by wind, water, animals or mechanical means. Under favorable conditions, a seed sprout and the embryo develops into a new plant. Children, before going to discuss about parts of a flower, let us discuss about based on the presence of stamen or pistil, flowers can be classified as two. One is unisexual flowers. These are the flowers that contain either stamen, means male reproductive part, or pistils, which are female reproductive part of a flower. These are also called incomplete flowers. Examples of unisexual flowers are papaya, mulberry, watermelon, etc. Children, now let us see what is bisexual flowers. Bisexual flowers, these are the flowers contain stamen and as well as pistils, means both male and female reproductive part of a flower. Example, hibiscus, mustard and rose, etc. Children, now let us discuss the parts of a flower. Children, a typical flower is made up of four main whorls, that is calyx, corolla, androecium and gynoecium. Some of these parts are reproductive while others are protective or attractive structures. The process of sexual reproduction in plants involves the fusion of gametes to produce offspring. The reproductive parts in angiosperms, like plants that flowers and produce fruits and seeds, are located in the flower. The parts of a flower consist of sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. The reproductive part of a flower are the stamen, which contains the male gametes, and pistil contains the female gamete, which is also called female reproductive part of a flower. Children, now let us discuss each and every part of the flower. First, let us discuss about sepals, which is also called calyx. The outer whorls protect leaf-like structure is called sepals. It protects the flower when it is in the bud stage. Sometimes sepals can be colored. These are green petals-like structures that are formed right above the base of the flower, called a receptacle. The calyx is formed of sepals. Their main function is to protect the flower while it is still in the bud stage. Let us discuss about petals, which is also called corolla. The second row petals are often brightly colored and may produce fragrance. Corolla is the collective name given to the petals, which are colorful parts of the flower. The petals of different flowers are found in different colors, and in addition, most of the time they are fragrant as well. Petals that attract the pollinating agents to the flower. The corolla is located above the calyx layer, helps attract insects and other agents of pollination. Children, let us discuss the reproductive structure of a flowers. Flowers are reproductive organs of plant and they contain both male and female reproductive structures. Male reproductive part is known as androecium and female reproductive part is also known as gynoecium. Let us discuss about androecium, male reproductive part, which is also called anther. The androecium is the male reproductive part of a flower. It is considered the third role in a flower. The androecium is the name given to a group of stamens. Each stamen is made up of a filament and anther at the top of it. The anthers are lobed structures that produce pollens which contain the male gamete. Now let us discuss about stamen. The third role composed of stamens. This is the male reproductive part and it also known as androecium. Each stamen has anthers, produces pollen grains and a filament-like structure stalk that holds the anther. It consists of a filament and an anther that encloses the pollen grains. The pollen grains produces the male germ cells or gametes. Children, let us discuss the structure of an anther. Each anther typically has two lobes and each lobe usually contains two pollen sacs which are also called microsporangia. Inside each microsporangium there are layers of cells that help in pollen development. First one is epidermis, outer protective layer. Second one is endothecium, lies just beneath the epidermis, often develop fibrous thickening, and middle layer consists of thin walled cells, usually 3 to 4 layers, and the next one is tapetum. Innermost layer provides nutrients to developing pollen. Children, let us discuss the formation of pollen grains. The microspore mother cell, microsporocytes, undergo meiosis to form haploid microspores. Each microspore helps in a pollen grain which has two layers. The outer layer, exin, contains a tough substance called sporopollenin, and the inner layer, intine, is made up of cellulose and pectin. Let us discuss the development of male gametophyte. Within the pollen grain, one vegetative tube cell and one generative cell are formed after the first division. The generative cell later divides to form two male gametes, means sperm cells. When the pollen grains lands on the stigma, the vegetative cell produces the pollen tube that carries the male gametes towards the ovule. Children, now let us discuss about female reproductive part of a flower, which is also called gynoecium. The gynoecium organ comprising one or more pistils. Each pistil has 3 parts. Let us discuss in detail about the structure of a pistil. Pistil is the female reproductive part of a flower and is also known as gynoecium. Already we discussed that this is made up of 3 parts, namely stigma, style and ovary. The enlarged portion at the bottom of the pistil is the ovary, which contains an ovule with an egg cell. The middle long part is the pistil is the style and the terminal sticky part is the stigma. Stigma always helps to land the pollen grains on the top surface, and style, a tube-like structure that contains the stigma to the ovary to carry the pollen grains from stigma to ovary, and ovary is an enlarged basal part containing one or more ovules. And now let us discuss the formation of ovules in pistil. Inside each ovule lies a megaspore mother cell. Therefore, meiosis that cells produce 4 haploid megaspores. Usually, only one megaspore remains functional while the others degenerate. The functional megaspore undergoes divisions to form the female gametophyte, which is also called embryo sacs, which contain the egg cell and nuclei, including polar nuclei. By this process of sexual reproduction in plants starts the fusion of male and female gametes, followed by the formation of a zygote that eventually develop into a new plant. Children, let us discuss the process of fertilization in flowering plants. The process of fertilization in flowering plants takes place in the following way. When the pollen is transferred from the male reproductive part, that is anther, to female reproductive part, that is stigma, the process often aided by wind, insects or animals. Through the process of pollination, the pollen is deposited in the style of the pistil. For the next process in reproduction, it needs to reach the female germ cells which are present in the ovary. To facilitate this, a tube grows out of the pollen grain and reaches the ovule in the ovary of the pistil. Hence, in the ovule, the male germ cells fuse with the female germ cell to form a zygote. This process of fusion